my name is David Bradbury. I'm an internationally respected documentary filmmaker. Some of you probably know me from my first film about Neil David, the legendary Australian cameraman who covered the Vietnam War for 11 years, Frontline. Tim Bowden wrote a book about that called One Crowded Hour. I'm very pleased to hear, Mr. Chairman, that both you and the CEO, Marius Klopp, have a great interest and respect for safety and zero harm to workers and also to the public in the operations of BHP Billiton. I'm concerned and would like to know, in the light of that, in the light of the legal actions taken against James Hardy, which has put that company on the ropes financially, has the board taken into account in the expansion of Olympic Dam the possible class actions that will be taken by Australians if that proposal goes ahead, with 40 to 70 million tonnes of radioactive tailings a year, the company's own estimates, not mine, that will be dumped at the surface of the mine at Rock Street simply because we've discovered that this is a dry continent. We can't possibly cover up those radioactive tailings as we're doing now with water each year from the Great Artesian Basin. This is a great concern to me, and I've made a 7-minute documentary, short, which I would ask in respect with the company in interest of open debate, as you say, we have to have in this country, and to see the other side of the coin, would the company, our company, be prepared to put this up on your website to be able to open up that debate as fellow Australians, because we will cop it all. It's only 1,000 kilometres to Melbourne as the crow flies. It's 1,300 kilometres to Sydney as the wind blows from Roxby. This is a prime issue for all Australians. 12 million shareholders in the superannuation funds of BHP Billiton and direct shareholding, 20 million Australians whose future depends upon this. It's not a simple matter of saying out of sight, out of mind, sitting the yellow cake off the country, folks. When they mine uranium, as the engineering people here will know, they are leaving behind them radioactive thorium, radioactive polonium. We know how small amount they needed to kill that Russian agent in London 2 years ago. Radioactive lead, radioactive bitumen, and radioactive radium. 40 million to 7 million tonnes of that every year, pulverised with a fine dust blowing across this country is a disaster in the making, which will make the asbestos mining of James Hardy look like pin money in terms of what we will have to pay if this is allowed to go ahead. Yes. My question, have you made any forward estimates for what will be taken into account for any legal actions against BHP Billiton if this proposal of Olympic Dam goes ahead? And will you let me show the DVD on your website?
No, but I think the market you're aware
I don't want to market it for free. I will give it to anyone outside the foyer who would like to see this and get the other side of the coin. There's someone earlier here today said, let's think outside the square and let's have some, dare I say, less progressive thinking in this country. But I'd like the answer from the company about what you're going to do about forward estimates for legal class actions that will let me flow not only from the miners who are at the mine site, but also from the general population. When we realised what the US Academy of Science did 2 years ago, there is no safe level of low ionising radiation. No safe level. Thank you. Yeah, what is it?
Complying with South Australian, Northern Territory and federal government requirements. Addressing all of the environmental and social issues. This EIS, once released, and we stated that it's towards the end of this year, first half of next year, will be on public display, and each and every member of the public will be allowed to respond to it. It will be on display for a period of 8 weeks. We are obliged to respond to each and every query that is made as part of that process before we can get the EIS approved.
So to answer the question, have you put into account, for the sake of the shareholders, what forward estimates will come from birth defects and cancers in particular, will never come from 70 tonnes of radioactive every year flying across Australia? Do you have an estimate of what I talked about?
Once the public has the ability to examine the EIS on its merits, each and every one of them will reach the same conclusions that you've reached, which is that this mine is responsible, that it's been conducted in a professional manner, and that the risks are manageable.
The radioactive waste will be taken care of. Yeah?
Yes,